Hey guys, Slice here. Happy holidays to you all and merry belated Christmas if you celebrated. 3.0 is out, Lynae's full guide is out on main channel, so that means S0 to S6 time. This will be done on media servers since I only pulled for S0R1 on my own account. We'll be running through TOA and doing just one rotation to see damage differences and team DPS differences. So don't worry, I will be doing both Sub DPS and Main DPS for all S0 to S6. I have both a 5-piece leap set and a 5-piece revelation set for Main DPS. They're roughly the same overall stats, so no real issues there. And there's no need to debrief the sequence notes since I'll talk about them as we get there. And to repeat, this is media server, which means test account. I see comments from time to time asking questions that make me scratch my head. Anyways, thanks for the boatload of support on this channel. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying the more casual showcase. This shit's fun for me. I love trying max cap on characters, so hopefully they continue. Timestamps if you need them. Let's get started. Alright, so first up, we have S0 Lynae. We're doing S0 showcase for both, even though I did do them on my main channel. And the main reason for this is because my rotation was a little bit off on the main channel one. I saw a comment basically saying he was frustrated that the rotation is not correct because I'm not getting max damage bonus, which is totally fine. I updated a little bit. It basically changes nothing about the rotation. It extends it by about 1 second because you're doing basic attacks at the beginning. But overall, I just look for the buff on Yuno's bar, and we're good. So Lynae's rotation is going to be pretty slow for all of these ones. That's pretty normal, I would say. Yeah, 117k is pretty good here. This is standard S0. And then now Yuno's rotation, you guys notice on her bar there's going to be a 5 boom, and now I can echo and ult. And we do 374k, which is pretty juiced. To finish off the rotation, I'm going to be finishing everything with the tune break at the end. Right here. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is where we pause at S0 Sub DPS Lynae. About half of the boss's HP. Lynae's main purpose here is to just buff Yuno. So pretty good. I'm going to move to Main DPS. Alright, Main DPS, you guys know this. Sanhua into Lynae. Sanhua is going to be on the weaker side, but she provides the most bonuses to Lynae, which is what I'm most concerned about. Obviously, the team DPS is going to be on the lower side. That's okay. This way we can see Lynae doing most of the heavy work here. So after setup with both of my supports, we've done basically 5% of the boss HP, even less than that. Now it's all onto Lynae. We're always going to do basics at the beginning, by the way, for the Gilded Revelation set bonus. You need basic attack damage to proc it and then ult. So the ult must be delayed. But this way, we get a huge 220k damage here, so pretty good. And the last one's going to be pretty weak, but that's expected. Well, let me check that again.
One more. Hey, where's the fire? Marked. Guess who?
Okay, and as usual, we're going to end with Shorekeeper's rotation here. And press F. Alright, so as you guys can see, this is where the HP is leaving off. We're doing about 25% of the boss's HP, down from 50%. But this is all Lynae damage, so it's not that bad. It's actually quite good. So let's move on to S1. Alright, S1. So we're going to be seeing basic attack, polychrome leaps. These are the spacebar attacks. Those are going to be increased. And then all of this doesn't really matter. Not going to lie, this doesn't even matter as well. This changes sub DPS slightly. So you're going to notice I'm going to be skipping some stuff. This is good if you have enough regen. So if you have enough regen, then you can skip the energy generating abilities, the E and the basic attacks, and skip that for a little bit of time save. The spray paint one, you're not going to notice. The immunity interruption is actually quite nice. You are going to notice that one. Especially when you're doing spacebar attacks and you get interrupted midair, it is actual pain. So S1's gonna save that. Yes, the game's telling me that I've been playing for 3 hours. Bro, listen, it's my job, okay? Relax. Okay, so S1 Sub DPS time. Let's do it. All right, here we go. So we're gonna basically be seeing no change on Yuno's DPS, but maybe a little bit more on Lynae's. This one's probably gonna be the least impactful they're gonna visualize, but we're gonna see the boss HP overall.
Drive safe, tie a bow, and call that my signature.
Okay, so first thing, let me repeat that again. You notice that immediately on entering. So let's do that again, just so you guys are fully aware. I should have explained this, my bad. Okay, when we entry into Lynae, it's intro, immediately into ult. I already have full forte bar, so we skip the E in the basic attack, we go straight into a hold. So saving about 1 second there. And then these are a little bit stronger, and then that damage is the same. So her rotation is a little bit faster now, which is kind of nice. And then waiting for Yuno. She has 5 stacks now. Now we blow her ultimate. Dealing about 380k. So it's going to be around 370, 380k here. Doing her same rotation here. And ending. Waiting for the tune break. Okay, tune break sound. Boom. That's final damage. So overall, Lynae does get a little bit stronger, and we're doing a little bit more than 50% of the boss's HP. But yeah, this is S1 bonus, so not really much difference there. Okay, time for main DPS showcase time. So when it comes to the damage differences for most of her abilities, since they're really small numbers, you're not really going to see them. They are going to be impactful, but you're not going to be like, holy crap, oh my god, I did like 5 million damage. Yeah, that's not going to happen with her. That will happen later on, which we'll get to. But yeah, for just these early ones, you're going to see little bits of chip damage increase. Low key though, I feel like the interruption immunity is like really, really nice. Like you will be grateful for it when you don't get knocked out of the sky at S0. Okay, so same damage here, 220k on main DPS. This doesn't change. Doing hold heavy. And switching out. Total damage after F. Boom. Okay, so you guys can see that we're from 25% of the boss HP, maybe 30%. It's actually quite nice. You don't notice it because the spacebar attacks are such little numbers, but again, we are getting a final damage increase on those, which is quite nice. To be honest, I'm not actually going to be pinpointing exactly how much the final damage increase is because low-key, it doesn't fucking matter. It will matter for the later big hits, but for these small hits, just know that you are getting a damage increase. All right, S2 time. This one is going to be the most impactful for Yuno. She gets 25% damage amp, which is nice. And also, her outro is from 15% to 40% damage amp. So, Yuno's going to be hitting slightly harder. So, pay attention to Yuno's damage here. We're going to be doing the same rotation like usual. Right now, we're noticing that her liberation does about 370 to 380k. So we're going from 15% to 40% amp, but again, she has a lot of sources of amp, so it's not going to be a true 25% DPS increase, but it's going to be a gain, which is what we care about. So her own damage gets increased to 143k, which is quite nice. Now we're paying attention to Yuno. I'm waiting until I see 5 stacks right there.
Answer my call.
There we go, 429k, so it's quite nice, right? We went from 380 to 429k. Which is just about a 15% DPS increase. And then let's see boss's HP after we finish. Press F. Boom. Alright, so we're scaling, right? We were at 50% of the boss's HP. Now we are at 60% of the boss's HP, which for the most part, both Yuno and Lynae are getting nice bonuses here. Again, depending on how often I crit or miss crits, you might be seeing a little bit skewed in damage. For the most part, just know that you are getting the right value out of it. Okay, main DPS time. We did see a pretty good gain from Sub DPS. We went from 117k to 143k. So now the damage should be significantly better because she's getting all the buffs.
Stay behind me. Like frigid death.
Okay, usual setup here.
A change of perception. Drive safe.
Don't worry about that. I need to get these basics off. Remember that? All right, ultimate damage is now 11.3k ticks. We're doing 55k times 2 and 241k. So it's getting a little bit better. The percentage damage increase was less though. Which is totally fine. I might have lost a little bit of a buff there, but overall you should be expecting more damage overall. And now pressing F to finish the rotation. That is where we're at. So we went from 25%. Now we are almost at 35%. So the personal damage for Lynae on S1 and S2 is quite significant. I would say maybe by S2, you're getting 25% from both. That's kind of expected. Maybe even 30%. Going from 25% of the boss HP to 35% of the boss HP. So it could be about maybe even a third game. But overall, what we're actually looking for is S3. So that's now what time we're going for. Okay, S3. So this is the important one. Why? Because the number that you care about the most is going to be this basic attack, visual impact, or iridescent splash. This is the plunge number that for her is the highest value. So in the previous runs, we were doing about 220k, to 240k on main DPS, and then sub DPS we're doing about 117 to 140k. So this should theoretically be doing almost double damage, but that's what we're testing. And I'm not gonna lie, so I tested this out. I've already done S6 testing, as you guys have seen. To be honest, her E, so additive color is her E damage here. Her E damage is so insignificant, like right here, so insignificant. Don't even worry about this. Don't even try to play around this, okay? It's like there's a lot of text here, and the only thing that you actually care about is that her plunge does a ton more damage. You do change her rotation slightly, but the damage is like not nearly as impactful as the multiplicative damage from the plunge. So I just want to let you guys know this extra text I was unsure about in the main guide. Here, I can 100% tell you that it's not too important. You will play around it naturally, but I'll get to that in S6. Okay, sub DPS time. Let's go.
Astral modulation.
You might have noticed that my short keep rotation gets a little bit faster because I use dodge counter here. Okay, I need to shut up.
My signature.
Okay, sub DPS damage. Let's look at the plunge.
One more.
There we go. 272k on sub DPS, by the way. So now we're doing main DPS levels on sub DPS at S3. And then Yuno goes. There should be no change to her own damage. She's still doing the same 429k crit here.
String. Fate.
Okay, you heard that little ding there. That was the signal that you can toon break. Switch to Shorekeeper, press F. That's it. Okay, so right now, 50% of the boss's HP. Now we're doing about 66 to 70%. So at this point, with S3 Lynae, her damage has skyrocketed, but the team's DPS has increased to about 40% from S0. Right, we're going from 50% to 70%. It's quite significant. Yeah, pretty nice. So now let's check out main DPS, because this should be the biggest hit for herself. You guys probably know what to expect since we're doing a lot of double damage on plunge here, but let's see it. Let us see it.
In war with time.
Stay behind me. Shackles be gone. And a change of pursuit.
Okay, setup is finally finished. We still need a basic attack at the beginning that you cannot avoid that because you want that revelation stacks. Ultimate is doing 10.5k. Our punches are doing 50k. I wanted to make sure his shield is down. 436k. That feels nice, man. And then the second one. I didn't crit. Okay, you know what? Let's just, okay, multiply the damage that you saw there by 3. I did not crit. That was a 20. If I can pull it up here. Let's get that plunge going. Boom. That was a 23.6k non-crit. And I have about 270. So multiply this about by 3-ish. Just expect me to do, I don't know, like 69k probably. Maybe even more than that. But for the most part, it's going to be significantly weaker since we are losing some buffs here. That's okay. That's totally fine. Overall, her damage is good here. Let's complete the rotation.
Oath from the heart.
Do that ding. All right, plus F. Press F. All right. So this is where we're at now. We started at 25%. Now we are almost 50%. I would say we're 45, maybe 43-ish % of the boss's HP. So from S0 to S3, just from that plunge increase, it seems like her personal damage is almost about a 50% increase, which adds up, right? That adds up a lot. We're not even at S6 yet, so cool. All right, S4 is 20% attack. This one is boring as hell. So we're gonna move to S5. This is gonna be liberation damage increased by 70%. For the most part, these two are actually kind of boring to watch, but I'm gonna show you S5 just so you guys can see her personal damage increase. Obviously her personal damage increase and also how much it would affect the team's overall damage. That's what we care about. All right. Sub DPS first.
Diminish. Astral modulation. Drive safe. Tie a bow.
Okay. Sub DPS ultimate damage is now 12.2k. So it is significantly increased.
One more.
Her plunge, 278, beautiful. And switch. Okay, already staggered. Foot, Yuno's foot into 412k. This is probably some small buffs there. Doesn't matter long term.
Be my prey. Future.
Okay, we heard the clanker sound. Press F. Okay, so there you go. As you guys can see, oops, let me rewind just a little bit so you can see. As you guys can see, basically no change. Like I said, S4, 20% attack, S5, overall the damage, it's there, but you're not gonna feel it because already her base kit has increased the most important stuff. So yeah, these are basically just filler. I'm gonna play the main DPS one now. Sorry for pausing. I'm gonna play the main DPS one now. This one, you're probably gonna see some pretty significant damages. But overall, the big number that you're gonna see is definitely the plunge. That's what matters.
Like frigid death. A change of perception.
Drive safe.
All right, Lynae, show him who's boss.
Delivery.
We stacked up Revelation.
Boom.
Ultimate is dealing 19k ticks now, which is pretty good. Pretty good, man. Use my E there just to make sure that he gets out of his shield phase. 469k. Dude, whenever I see big numbers in this game, man, there's a feeling of satisfaction. I don't know how to explain it. I'm sorry. It will never get old to me. So I'm just a fucking nerd, man. I just like seeing that big shit happen. Anyways, as you guys can see from the whole damage, we really didn't make any much difference. I think from S3 it was also about the same. Most of her damage is coming from that plunge. So increasing ultimate damage and giving her 20% attack, you know, it's like pretty negligible. 20% attack we should have been seeing, but at the end of the day, it's probably gonna give her less than 10% DPS. Okay, Crown Jewel is time. So I got something to explain here, okay? S6 is cool as and you're gonna see it. All right, so there's a couple big things that change. Her gameplay completely changed. I'm gonna start from the bottom up, okay? So important things to know. Her speed bar has 360 cap instead of 120 cap. This is actually important because each of her jumps will now take 120 instead of 360. It's not a 40 flat every single time. It's 1/3 of the full bar. Second thing is that her enhanced state is not removed when you outro. So after your first rotation, you're gonna be staying in your quote-unquote enhanced form, which means you don't need to hold heavy anymore. So that like normal thing where you're like charging up and she's damage reduced and you're converting your forte bar, that is completely gone after the first rotation. The very first rotation you're still gonna do it, but the second one onwards, you don't need to do that. You can skip it entirely. If intro is cast during the E, you restore 120 points of Lumiflow, which is quite nice. The next thing which is important is her gameplay completely changes on this. Each time you use your ground heavy attack or your mid-air heavy attack, she gains a stack of this color of soul. At 3 stacks, her basic attack, her plunge attack gets a 30 to 90% final damage increase. This increases damage dealt, I believe, is final damage. It's actually juiced as you're gonna see it. It's actually crazy. You also see, I'm not gonna be doing the ground heavy attack. The mid-air heavy attack is really nice. So normally on her base rotation, you can't do successive mid-air heavy attacks in a row. But casting her jump resets that. So you can jump mid-air heavy, jump mid-air heavy, jump mid-air heavy. Why is this good? Because basically, you're gonna be mid-air the whole time, which means you're gonna be dodging all these stupid-ass enemy attacks the whole time. And also, you can kind of like stall her in mid-air. You can continue to do this. You'll have these 3 stacks and you can plunge whenever. So you have full control of the ability. Anyways, I'm done explaining it. There's a lot going on here. It also benefits S3, by the way. When Lynae is out of combat, at least 120 points, it improves her E a little bit. This damage sucks. Don't worry about this. But I just want to let you guys know that you will be naturally at 120 points after this. You'll see. Okay, enough fucking yapping. I'm like, this was so fucking cool to me to discover. All right, let's go. So first, I'm going to show Sub DPS. All right, Sub DPS is first. If you wanted to S6 her, this is like low-key. I'm not telling you to S6 her because I didn't S6 her myself, but this is low-key kind of propaganda. It's fun as fuck. Okay. I'm just going to let the footage show itself. This is so fucking cool to me.
Yeah, I perish. Lion graft you knew.
All right, Lynae, show him who's boss here.
Don't blink.
Sub DPS, remember that.
Oh, over here. Marked.
Yeah? Yeah, let's go. 487k on Sub DPS. That's what I'm talking about, man. Gonna finish this off really quick.
My cool.
Doing even more than Yuno, but of course Yuno is S0. So proof of concept is there though.
Vow from the soul.
Alright, hit that F. Alright, boom. Okay, so we are at about 80% or higher now. That shit was cool. So let me replay a little bit of what's going on here, okay? So first up.
Yeah, I perish. Lion graft you knew. Drive safe.
First up.
Don't blink. You'll miss the best part.
Okay, so you see this? We have to do this the first time. But after this, you will not have to do it anymore because she will be permanently in her enhanced state. But look at her speedometer as well.
Over here.
When we cap out, we're at 360 bar, okay? Then you do one jump. All you gotta do is hold heavy, okay? One jump, hold heavy, another jump, hold heavy, another jump. Well, wait, I gotta fucking do the mechanic. So you see this right here? These are her important buffs. This 3 on the left side, this is her quote-unquote color of stacks. When you get 3 stacks, you're doing 90% final damage on her plunge. And it'll be removed. This 9 right here is showing you her enhanced E. I tried to play around this in the future ones, but it was so weak, it's not even worth trying. But this one is good. So now, we plunge. Boom. 487k. And it's gone. So you guys notice that the buff disappeared, right? So yeah, let's do main DPS time. Okay, boys? So I want to let you guys know, main DPS, I'm going to do 2 full rotations this time. Why? Because I want to show you guys the updated rotation. Sub DPS, I only did 1 of them. But main DPS, we're changing things up a little bit. Watch this.
Diminish. Lion graft you knew.
Stay behind me. Like
All right,
death.
it's time. Get our heavy attack detonation off.
A change of perspective.
Boom. Lynae has to basic at the beginning. It's boring as and Loki. I don't really like the why this set does this, but it's fine. It's not really fine, but yeah, it wastes her time. Okay, ultimate is doing 20k.
Over here.
Punch at him. Okay, we really want to get the shield up. There we go. And 891k. And she does it again. Look at this. 150k as well. Brother, it's so fucking cool, man. And now I'm gonna show second rotation.
Loading wall with time.
Stall this ass. Easy.
Stay
Sanhua.
like frigid death.
Yeah. Boom. Heavy attack detonation.
A change of perspective.
Drive safe.
Outro. Look at that. So Lynae, immediately go jump. Right now, watch.
Signature.
Jump. Yes, sir. Yes, sir! Yes, sir! 994k. Brother, this character is fucking sick. Actually, so cool. If you go for S6, she is so fun to play. So, also major things that I want you guys to be aware about now that you've seen the fucking damage output, okay? Don't worry about anything. Lynae is immune to interruptions during mid-air attack. So when you are flying around, you cannot be knocked down. The world is your oyster, my dude. And you are in midair like 99% of the time. So I just want to say a couple things, okay? With her S6 kit, I'm gonna start from the beginning just so you guys can understand how many immunity interruptions she has with this. So I'm gonna skip forward. Okay.
Death. And great. A change of perspective.
Drive safe.
Okay. This is her weakest part in this beginning. Ult, your iframe. Hold your heavy attack. You're immune to interruption right here. Okay? You punch him. Now, during all of these jumps, S1 gives you immunity to interruption. Okay? This heavy attack, S6 gives you immunity to interruption. So you're fucking immune midair permanently. Boom. Okay, so this here, notice, couple things to notice. While you are midair and doing your heavy attacks, you gain forte because of movement. So you gain your speedometer, right? So when I finish my first plunge, I'm not at 0, I'm at 230. So what you can do now is you do basics a little bit, okay? Just a little bit, because it still takes 120 of the bar to initiate a jump. You do a little bit, then you're gonna basic. You just gotta, this is like a min-max thing. You jump, you're going to heavy, you gain a little bit of your bar back, maybe like 60 to 70 of the bar, okay? Then you jump again, I was at like 60 there. Then I gotta make sure I'm above 120 here. So boom, I'm about 140, I extend the rotation a little bit, and then boom. So now when you exit, you wanna make sure you're above 120 when you exit. Why? Because S3 will now proc. S3, when you're above 120, you gain a stack faster off field, and then your next enhanced E will do more damage. Now, the damage is kind of ass, but you know, it is what it is. All right?
Guess who? Ordained.
But still, just play around it. It's really fucking cool. Yeah. Okay. That's it. That's S0 to S6, boys. They actually, I'm not gonna lie, S0 is cool, okay? But they cooked with S6. They actually cook with S6. S6 playstyle is so fun. And the fact that you're immune to basically everything that could make it unfun, W, okay? So if you're an S6 Lynae enjoyer or you plan to get her, just know that her gameplay completely changes. Reference this video if you need to. She does a ton of damage. She basically gets 2 sources of damage, final damage, okay? So S3, the damage multiplier is increased by 90%. This is your first final damage increase, okay? Your second one is the Color of Soul. This one gives you another 90%, okay? Another 90%, which is 1.9x final damage. So we went from 220k to about 440k, and then now we're doing 800, 900k. Obviously, this is only for one of the plunges. The second plunge is going to be weaker. Second plunge was doing about 150k, so we're doing like 6x less, but totally fine. She's really cool, okay? I'm sorry, when I was testing this out, I was so surprised. I'm like, wow, they actually really made this significantly stronger and significantly more fun, okay? You will just fucking delete all the holograms. Go, they're all your oyster. But yeah, really cool. Really excited to see what they have in store for the new 3.x characters. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and sub. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the stuff. As always, thank you guys for the support. Happy holidays. We'll see you guys next time. Balls.